What is fossil fuel and how important is it in our daily life? Can you ever imagine how our daily life would be without fossil fuel? Then, have you ever thought about what the environmental impacts of current waste management systems are to our world? I am pretty sure that you know, in one way or another, what the answers to these questions are. Am I right? Good day everyone, I am Kida from NJIT UTM Kuala Lumpur. Today, I am going to present my final year project on relationship between biogas yield and indices of organic matters. With the advancement of technologies and rapid population growth nowadays, it is not difficult to understand why the energy consumption has been increasing at high rate. As figure on the left shows, 97% of primary energy resources in Malaysia are fossil fuel. And the trend in Malaysia continues these days as shown in the right figure. Under the circumstances, the necessity of development of a dependable and renewable energy source will only get higher as the fossil fuels may end up depleting in the future. On the other hand, waste can be a cause of very serious issues if it is not handled properly. Figure on the left shows the typical household waste composition in Malaysia. As shown in the pie chart, big fraction of waste is biomass, majority of which is biodegradable or perishable, but some other are not readily biodegradable. Whereas on the right, black dots show the locations of existing and closed landfill sites in peninsular Malaysia. There are more than 200 landfill sites. However, 80% of the existing landfill sites have almost reached full capacity and are expected to be shut down in the next few years. Our government has been playing an important role to ensure our country makes efforts on reducing environmental impacts due to our lives and activities. As the former Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change Minister Yeo Bying claimed 2 years ago, by 2019, Malaysia had already achieved a 33% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions intensity on the basis of gross domestic demand (GDP) in 2005, putting us within reach of our 2015 Paris Agreement target of the unconditional 35% or conditional 45% reduction. It won't achieve without reaching Sustainability Development Goals SDGs 7 and 13. In my project, biomass waste derived energy source is evaluated as an alternative to fossil fuels as it is a renewable energy source. As you can see, biogas is produced from organic or biodegradable materials in anaerobic digestion and hence it is sometimes dubbed as renewable natural gas, as it is a renewable energy and comprised of methane, which is also the main component of natural gas, and carbon dioxide as the main components. The use of biogas helps decrease dependency on the fossil fuels such as oil, natural gas, and coal. Besides, as biogas can be generated from organic waste, it can help achieving decrease in the mass and volume of waste to be disposed of. However, it has been found that there are not enough data and knowledge on parameters for anaerobic digestibility, biogas yield efficiency of biomass waste. The characteristics and biodegradability vary substantially depending upon the types and sources, but it takes long time to determine digestibility by conducting microbial tests. Biogasification of organic matters by anaerobic microbes also takes days to weeks or even longer. A quick index is much desired from practical point of view. Conventionally, the main parameter often used for anaerobic digestion study is volatile solids. However, biogas yield estimation based only on volatile solids is not accurate enough. For example, chemical oxygen demand (COD) values, which is directly related to methane potential, of 1 gram volatile solids can vary as much as by 300% or greater depending on the organic matters. These are the objectives that I wanted to achieve during this project. To achieve the objectives in overall, conduct biomethane potential experiments under preset conditions, such as food to microorganism ratio and food waste to sewage sludge ratio in co-digestion. Measure several biochemical or chemical characteristics of biomass waste and elucidate their relationship in between. Regarding the collection of biomass waste samples, food waste and sewage sludge samples were collected from a restaurant on campus and IWK Vilnius sewage treatment sequencer batch reactor plant, respectively. Collected food waste were mashed before both samples were stored in refrigerator at 4 degrees Celsius until use. Before carrying out BMP tests, chemical oxygen demand (COD) of both samples were determined by HACH method in addition to solid metals. The BMP test needs 6 sets of samples, which were 2 sets with different portion of food waste, a single set with sewage sludge, and 3 sets of samples with different mixing ratio of food waste and sewage sludge at 25 to 75, 50 to 50, and 75 to 25. An anaerobic digestion inoculum maintained in the lab, and distilled water were also added to 250 ml saline bottles. The saline bottles were used as the reactor with butyl rubber septum and an aluminium seal. All the saline bottles, prepared in triplicate for each condition, were set in incubator controlled at 37 degrees Celsius to monitor the biogas evolution. At a preset interval, pressure change in each bottle was measured by using a digital pressure gauge and water bath at 37 degrees Celsius. Figures 5 and 6 show biogas evolution from days 1 to 91 and days 1 to 87 respectively. Figures 7 and 8 show the biogas evolution in anaerobic digestion and co-digestion in 3 months period. As shown in figure 7, it was observed that the double food waste produced slightly less biogas than single food waste per unit chemical oxygen demand. Standard error analysis shows the difference is significant. The cause of discrepancy is not known yet, but it is speculated that slightly overloading occurring in double food waste condition had resulted in the difference. Whereas, among different ratios for co-digestion of food waste to sewage sludge, it was observed that the co-digestion condition with ratio of 75 to 25 yielded the greatest biogas compared with the other ratios. It is shown by the data that food waste contains more biodegradable fraction than sewage sludge in the total organic matters. As depicted in figure 8, the higher the ratio of food waste in the sample, the greater the biogas evolution in the saline bottles. On the other hand, compared with other samples, the sample with ratio of 75 to 25 shows the greatest difference between the values of day 1 and day 87. The data further prove that food waste is more biodegradable than sewage sludge, despite the sample has similar value of biogas evolution with other samples on day 1. In conclusion, the research objectives were largely achieved. COD chemical oxygen demand is the best indices to predict the ultimate or final biomethane potential of biomass waste samples. However, additional information is needed to predict the interim biomethane potential at a given time. Besides that, biomethane potential of biomass waste samples are obtained successfully. and the data show that organic matters in food waste are more biodegradable than in sewage sludge. However, sewage sludge from sequential batch reactor appears to be more degradable than sewage sludge from conventional activated sludge plant. Relationship between biomethane evolution and parameter COD is also elucidated, as COD, chemical oxygen demand, can help to predict the ultimate biomethane potential test results more accurately than other indices. Thank you so much for attending my presentation. I am looking forward to your comments and opinions.